3-0 Texas Tech. Won last year 6-0 over Abilene Christian. On that pace now with 4:15 left in the first half.
Excuse me, that was Chloe Soto that got that ball down the sideline.
Soto made the delivery into the box, correct?
Yes, that
Who
is
hit
my
the first
mistake.
one?
I believe it was Cassie Taylor with an absolute bomb over the top.
You think about how much acreage they traveled with just a few touches.
I mean, it's just a very smart play from Texas Tech, taking full advantage of the counterattack when ACU has that many players up. It just shows how smart Cassie Taylor is, seeing that and delivering that pass, and having Chloe Soto making that run up the field.
For Soto, that's her first assist.
Soto is definitely in that position, like I talked about with Jillian Martinez, that kind of defensive mid that holds it down in front of the back line. But when she has an opportunity to get up, they get their name on the stat sheet. They start creating plays. They're in positions to help their team with success. But it's one of those positions that you don't see them getting up as often.
The timing just skewed off the head the wrong way for Giametta.
Maybe if they moved that goal a little bit to the left, that would have been a goal, but.
You're right there left.
Yes, my right there left.
Woodruff had a good pass, too. She's the one that just got that interception. Congrats to Texas Tech volleyball. They took 2 yesterday in a total of 6 sets over Texas A&M Commerce and Louisiana. The Raging Cajuns. So we hit 2 minutes. Louisiana's volleyball team, coached by a former Red Raider.
Speaking of the Raging Cajuns, that is actually where Coach Salas was at before ACU.
There was also another connection with Curry Marshock, player on the Texas Tech volleyball team. Our brother Max started his baseball career here and then went to Lafayette.
Small world, how everything connects.
All kinds of connections. Think about how far away that is. That's a long ways.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's a long ways from Lubbock.
Yep, it sure is.
Out here on the Cap Rock.
We are our own third world country.
That's a lot of people don't realize that the elevation of Lubbock is 3,200-ish, depending on where you are in the town. If you head off east, you go straight downhill. Parsons. Soto rips it high. That'll get us pretty much all the way to the intermission here.
Very smart. They had you blocked. Great job giving her the shot. Good move, bud.
Both teams, I'm sure, are very ready for this halftime to cool off in the AC, get some water, kind of regroup.
Okay, now you got to pass her back on, Lou. Lou, you got to pass her back on.
Giametta. Flip. Christian. Brie Sauser is on from Corinth, Texas.
2 more ACU subs, 19 for 29 and 13 for 77. And then 2 more TT subs, 33 for 5.
I see Malenga now dropping in at a center back position with Kate Leibelin and Caitlin Giametta. Not really familiar with Malenga at that center back position, but
29.
it looks like she's setting in perfectly already. Familiar with the spot.
Abilene Christian got its main goal scorer, Chase Thorne, back out. Watch out for her in a moment. Sexton. Strzeski, great pass. But Lee Sanderson couldn't handle it.
Here we go. Organize,
I
Black.
mean,
Organize.
Abilene Christian's
And
defensive
mark.
end completely shut her down as soon as she got the ball. I think something working in Abilene Christian's favor is that because of Coach Salas and how much he believes in these players and how talented he knows they are, he's playing them against these harder teams because he knows they can compete, and that's exactly what they're showing us now. And I think these players are playing for this coach because they know how much that he believes in them. And that's something awesome to see, especially from a program that struggled before he got here.
Good, Hannah. Good.
It was 6-0 last year. And this Texas Tech team is better than last year's team at this time. You can say that with quite a bit of comfort.
And so to see this team lose 6-0 to this Texas Tech roster and this team being stronger this year, it just proves on both ends that both programs are excelling in a positive way.
Last year at this point, Texas Tech was already without Blackburn. Giametta.
Taking a hard fall to the ground.
Yeah, that hurt.
What number are you going to?
Yeah, the feet got tangled
Yep.
and then she slammed into the turf.
Second ACU sub also coming up 10 for 33.
Good chase. Good Macy all the way.
Good, Macy. Good, Black.
Too
Good.
far in front of Elise Anderson.
Bailey. Bailey. Bailey.
Is that you there? Come on, keep working the back. Black. Good pressure.
Ice bath's not too far off.
At this point, I think I'd take an ice bath too.
Yes, myself and Bridget are outside. Picked up some water that had been left sitting there since the first half, and it was not cold. It's pretty hot.
Probably near boiling at that point, but thankful to be in the shade, that's for sure. Credit to these players, both teams playing in this heat. It's not easy.
Hannah, penetrate. And on.
But there is no escape from the sun either. It's not like you can go to a nice oak tree or something, sit underneath it. Now, if you get off of the surface, you can find a tree. I saw fans way before this thing kicked off that were finding all kinds of shade with those trees down to our left. Not many trees in Lubbock, period.
No, not at all. In this area, though, it is very pretty. It would give you the sense that we do have a lot of trees.
That ended up being a great chance for the Wildcats. And White
Quick
got
to the
down
ground.
and cradled it.
For someone as tall as Madison White, her ability to get down that quickly. Again, like I was saying, a ball bouncing around your 18-yard box with no clearance. Getting a touch like that is detrimental.
That was Thorne as well. The main goal scorer. Here's your shots on goal, 8-2, Texas Tech. I like Peyton Hill, just a sophomore.
ACU has all but one player near that 18-yard box or in that 18-yard box. They are wanting to get a point on that scoreboard. But when you have someone like Penelope Malinga, who is probably 6 foot, chances are slim of getting that ball in the air, just like we saw.
Well, she's listed at 5'9". That's a little ways away.
There's no way she's
That's
5'9".
what she's listed at, 5'9".
If you see Penelope Malinga standing next to ACU's forward, you would think differently. I might exaggerate a little bit too, though, Jeff, so.
Tallest player on the roster for Texas Tech is Madison White at 5'11".
Compare the two, Madison White, Malinga. Malinga looks taller to me.
No way.
I might need new contacts.
You might need new contacts. This is a little trouble here, but Madison White with the length.
She reads those balls so well. That ball driven in, and she comes right out and just grasps it.
Yeah, watch the stretch there. It might have got poked in the eye.
That's the second or third time we've seen Madison White do that same exact thing.
Abilene Christian was leaning on the Red Raiders a little bit there, and White says, let's get this ball to the other side. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remain. The Andersons are both 5'10". There's Malinga.
Anything above 5'10", I really just.
You're 7 feet tall.
They're 6 foot in my mind. It's one of those things goes up. A little flick from Giametta.
Anderson just fine to let the ball stay that deep. Now Hill has some space until a slide tackle for Berkeley Patterson.
Berkeley Patterson's tackles today have been on point. Every opportunity that she's had to get on the ground or slide tackle or do any sort of tackle like that, she's done it. Skylar Haas into the game. Hazy, excuse me.
Oh, we both called her Haas last time anyway. Hazy is in. And I did miss a couple of 6-footers here. Story Sexton, listed at 6 foot, and Hazy. 2 6-footers on that roster. Even with the water breaks, this thing is going to be right at 2 hours. It's one thing about taking the overtimes away. If you're a fan, you can just say, all right, we're going to set aside these 2 hours, and we'll get to watch soccer, and then we'll move on to the next part of our day. There's not a ton of sports that have that. Baseball certainly doesn't. Football's game, that can go from 2.5 hours to 3.5, 4 hours. Basketball's one where you pretty much know to set aside 2 hours.
With those overtimes, Jeff, though, having players play for 120 minutes and still ending up not getting any kind of score, it's just, that was needed to go a long time ago.
You know who disagrees? It's Tom Stone.
Well, he's not the one out there playing in 120 minutes in 100-degree heat right now.
I knew that was going to be your answer. He's not the one running.
I played plenty of games at 1 p.m. on a Sunday, going 120 minutes of play at center back with a 0-0 game.
Oh, this has to just make you live it.
Yep. Played a whole 120 minutes with no score.
Krzyzewski setting up her defender. Had the shot tackled away. 50 seconds. Leibel had it go away. Should be a corner kick. It is. We'll see how much the Red Raiders want to take it. Cameron! 23 seconds. Headed out with 10 seconds.
Still in.
Well, congratulations to Madison White. She is now tied for the most